Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 439. I should have known that. Of Prog Reviews. I'm talking about Breakfast in America by Supertramp. It's American Thanksgiving or something. It's where we give thanks for not being American. And so I thought I'd kind of no. I'm trying to make some sort of logical song. No, that doesn't work. I don't know. This should be better because I did this before and my card failed. So I did all this. I came to the end. I got to the end and everything. 10 minutes of me jibber jabbering about this album perfectly, and the fucking card. I'm getting a bit. This camera. We're gonna fall out. We're gonna fall out, Mr. 700D. It's the 6th album by Supertramp. 6th studio album. Released 29th of March 1979. Now, a lot of you say, oh, you don't like Supertramp, you don't like them. It's just because I wasn't a big fan of Crime of the Century. But I put this on, and it was weird, as I said before. I feel like I'm repeating. It's weird when something fails and you do it again, because you feel like you're repeating yourself. You feel like you're going a bit doolally. So I'm going to try and remember what I said before. But yeah, I feel like I'm having deja vu. Deja vu. Not only am I having deja vu doing this review, but when I listened to this album, I felt like I knew it really well. It was peculiar. I thought, wow, have I heard this album before? Now, I've never owned it. I've never owned it. I don't think I would have been exposed to it, but it just felt really, really familiar. And like I said, I went through this kind of musical deja vu to the point where it was, a little bit unnerving. I thought maybe in a previous life I was a Supertramp fan, which would have been impossible because I was 8 years old when this was released. So for me to be reborn I'd have to have been dead first. But jibber jabber. So yeah, I'm gonna surprise you all and say that. Yeah, it weren't that bad. But first, I must, of course, take off my prog hat and put on my easy listening pop hat. I studied 10 years with Marcel Mossad doing that at his School of Mime. Look, I'm trapped in a glass case. I could do more walking into the wind. Yeah, I could do more. Balloon. But yeah, so anyway, back on with the review. It's a classic album. I mean, look at the sleeve. It's fantastic. It's a pastiche parody of the Statue of Liberty, but we've got breakfast items, and there's the skyline, and there's orange juice as the torch, and I just think just the sleeve itself is clever. It's a really one of those iconic rock album sleeves which deserves much attention. And again, there's a kind of it's funny because they're an English band with an American drummer, and at this point in their career, they'd all moved to the West Coast, much to the annoyance of the drummer because he liked it in England. He liked the wind and the rain and the hey nonny nonny. So I guess that kind of influenced the album because there's a few songs on it about America. I mean, they say that they're kind of like they're critiques of America, but I don't know. I think it's a little bit more to it than that. Starts with Gone Hollywood. Again, it kind of if any of you have ever been to La La Land, you know what a crazy, wonderful place it is. But it's that thing of going there to find your fortune, and it all going a bit wonky. Again, it's a story we've heard many times before, but it's put to song. This is followed by, of course, the logical song. And this is the one I remember off the radio. Again, this is why when I think of likes of Supertramp and ELO, I think of them very much as in the pop realm because it was their music I was exposed to via the English pop charts and the radio. When music meant something, when it was important, and so songs like the logical song and Breakfast in America and things like that, I would have heard on the radio. I assume that's why I heard them. And again, the logical song is all about how society shapes us, and we should move beyond that. And that kind of theme is repeated with the last track, Child of Vision. It's a similar to Floyd's Brick and All Part 2, you know, we don't need no education. How formalised education and that stunts our spiritual growth, if you believe that kind of thing. I like it, it's a good song. Goodbye Stranger, again, I knew this one. How do I know it? Couldn't figure it out. Breakfast in America, again, I really like this one. You know, we have kippers for breakfast. I don't know. I don't think you get kippers in America. Whenever I just go for the standard main breakfast item. No surprises there. Though I do remember piggies in a blanket. My very first visit to America, piggies in a blanket for breakfast. Like sausages in pancakes. That was when I was in Houston, Texas. Those were the days. And yeah, I do recommend Breakfast in America. Sets you up for the day. But yeah, I like the songs. Good, lots of humour in it. Good fun. Oh Darling, love song. That's all right. Take the Long Way Home, a classic again. I enjoyed it. Lord, Is It Mine? I really did like that. I thought it was a really sweet track, really nice. And then for me, the album starts to unwind slightly. Just Another Nervous Wreck was okay. Casual Conversation I found a bit dull, and then Child of Vision returns the band kind of to that area that I don't particularly like, where they meander a bit. All these other songs are kind of to the point, you know, and you know, kind of not have an urgency, but there's no faffing about. Whereas Child of Vision, a little bit of padding in there, goes on a bit, but you know, in a way, kind of winds up the album very well. Is it a concept album? The band says it isn't. It's more of an album with a theme, very short-lived theme, I might add. And yeah, on this, because it's the deluxe edition, there's a whole disc of live material taken from the Breakfast World Tour from 1979, and you get a lot of the main album and some of their classic tracks, including Give a little bit of your love to me. See, I do know the Supertramp. And I really like that song. Maybe I'll cover it one day. And yeah, it's all right for a live album. You know, for me, I don't like live albums, but I don't have any of their studio. I don't have all their studio albums, so it was good to give it a spin. You also get a really good booklet telling you about the making of. That's how I know all about the Supertramp now. I know all about them, and there's some good pictures in there for the fans and that. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty solid edition to pick up if you like these deluxe things. It's been remastered, but I've got nothing to compare it to, so it sounded good to me. I enjoyed it, and that's the thing. I enjoyed the album. It's a classic album. It's enjoyable, and it's about 47 minutes in length, so it's not too long. Doesn't outstay its welcome. So yeah, I've surprised all of you now. Usually expecting me to pan it, though I don't see them as being ever in the progressive milieu. I see them very much as, you know, pop, soft rock. Yeah, I like that. And yeah, I mean, it's a very well done album. It's probably their best album, I reckon. I'm gonna say it's their best album, even though I haven't heard all the others. I'm just gonna be brave. I think it's their best-selling album, so that must account for something. Just because it sells a lot, don't mean it's any good. What are we going to do about it? In terms of a rating, I mean, I think, you know, if you have to listen to one Supertramp album, it's got to be this one. So I'm gonna loosen my belt a bit, and I'm gonna give it 4 Breakfast in America out of 5. That's 4 Breakfast in America out of 5, because it's a classic album. And I think you all deserve to sample it, you know. Eat it up. Oh, yeah. So there you go. I got around to doing it. 'Cause this was gifted, and the person that gifted it's probably punching the air now. I did it. Hey! I'll do the Rush ones soon. What do you reckon? And then Blue Oyster Cult. Anyway, my name is Darren Locke. I've been talking about Breast of America by Supertramp, which is, I think, is a classic album. I think you should all give it a listen, even if you're not a big fan. I think it's a snapshot of pop, soft rock of its time. It's it is very much of its time, and you will not get songs like that now. And that's a good thing. I mean, I think it's a good thing that it exists. I think it's a good, fun album. And that's it. There's only one more thing to say. By now you know what that is. I'm hoping that this doesn't mess up when I press the stop button and it says card unrecognisable. So let's all have our fingers crossed, shall we? I'm nervous. Anyway, there's only one more thing to say, and that is Prog on.